All right, well, let's consider this question, which looks a little weird. We're told to we want to limit the domain of the function f of x equals x squared minus 4 so that it is a one-to-one function. And then we want to find the inverse function of that. So what do we do with that? If you recall, before we begin finding one-to-one functions, we need to be able to limit the domain to make it one-to-one. So we've got x squared minus 4x. And if you recall, this is a quadratic function. And so what we do is that we limit quadratic functions like this by finding the vertex of the polynomial. So where's the vertex? Well, remember vertices can be found using a formula that says that, well, the x coordinate is negative b over 2a, right? That was the result of completing the square in place. In this case, we know that a is equal to 1 and b is equal to negative 4, so our vertex would be at the point the negative of negative 4 divided by 2 times 1, which is to say at x equals 2. And we would find y of 2, f of 2 is equal to 2 squared minus 4 times 2, which is to say at 4 minus 8, negative 4. So our vertex is the coordinate point 2, negative 4. And so what we do is we're going to write f of x in the standard form, which is to say leading coefficient 1 times the quantity x minus h, 2 in this case, that's the location, minus 4. And so we would have to limit it so that the domain only covers the set of values from 2 to positive infinity to make it one-to-one. So now, if we want to find our inverse, we solve for y. And let's go ahead and take advantage of our newly completed square right here, y equals x minus 2 squared minus 4. We're going to switch x and y. Right? In this case, x is greater than or equal to 2, so that means y minus 2 quantity squared minus 4 is such that y is greater than or equal to 2. Right? Now we solve for y, so x plus 4 is equal to the quantity y minus 2 squared. And if we take the square root of both sides, we're only going to get the positive set of values, so that the square root of x plus 4, the positive square root of x plus 4, is equal to y minus 2. And so we add 2 to both sides, we get y is equal to 2 plus the square root of x plus 4. Right? The domain of this expression, now, by the way, this is our function f inverse of x. The domain of this inverse function, 2 plus the square root of x plus 4, is the set of all values from negative 4 to infinity. Right, we set our argument x plus 4 greater than or equal to 0. So that means the range of our original function, where the domain was set to be the set of all real numbers from 2 to infinity, its range will be the set of all real numbers from negative 4 to infinity in order to make it one-to-one. And for our inverse function, the range is going to be the set of all numbers from 2 to infinity. So, in certain cases, we can limit the functions to make them one-to-one in order to be able to find an inverse of sorts. All right. Good luck on the homework. I'll see you in class.